Do you have ADHD and you know you should be getting some sleep, but you just refuse to sleep because it's just so boring? Well, this isn't the only video I want you to watch. I have some awesome advice for you on what will happen when you get some sleep, why you get so bored, and how to get some sleep easier in the future. For those that are new here, my name's Matt. I'm an educator and keynote speaker just trying to teach people the whys and hows of their wonderful brains. Now, without further ado, welcome to ADHD and sleeping without getting so bored. Let's talk about it. Category number 1, what will happen if you get some sleep? We're gonna start this bad boy off with a disclaimer that, of course, sleep is not just important for ADHD people, but sleep is no less than critical to an ADHD brain. ADHD is fundamentally a disorder of executive function, emotional regulation, and neurochemical balance. And sleep plays a central role in all three of these areas. So let's talk about some areas that y'all gotta keep in mind. Simply put, sleep improves things like dopamine and norepinephrine creation. This affects things like your concentration, your motivation, and your mood. Executive functioning skills. This is your ability to have a thought and then pursue that thought without feeling paralyzed. Emotional regulation. This is your ability to maintain an emotion easier. Sensory processing. This is assisting you from getting overwhelmed by such things as sight, sound, taste, smell, and textures. And finally, impulse control. This is when you're in the middle of shooting a YouTube video that could help a lot of people, but all you're thinking about is donuts from the donut shop that's down the street because you love donuts and you're gonna really go for a donut right now. But it's not actually a good idea to go and get donuts, and you should get some sleep so then that way when you have the donut thought, you think, no, you should probably actually film the YouTube video, Matt! So, needless to say, but if you're experiencing difficulties in any of these categories and you're getting less than optimal sleep, just know that this is one of the most simple ways that we can help ourselves with these extremely critical issues. Category number 2, why you get so bored. It's an interesting choice of words, but it oddly makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I think boredom is a very powerful word in the ADHD world. Because with a stimulation-based brain, a lot of us experience what we believe to be boredom whenever our brain is not being stimulated by the task at hand. Now, the issue with being understimulated by something is our brain tends to not prioritize the thing that is not giving us stimulation. And the overall influence that our brain is giving us being what you're thinking about, how you're thinking about it, and your morality behind what is right or wrong comes into play here. When we are not stimulated before going to bed, our brain tends to take over and starts to influence our thought patterns into thinking about things that are much more stimulating. A very quick fun note, I'm about to explain to you guys where the 3 a.m. zoomies come from, and if y'all have never figured it out before, this is likely gonna blow your mind. Since you aren't planning on stimulating yourself in this scenario, your brain is essentially just always going to take over and attempt to stimulate itself. The problem with this, however, is that our brain tends to not have a morality behind what is right or wrong, and we tend to think of more aggressive thoughts, like thoughts that make our thoughts race, both good and bad. Traumatic events from our past, inappropriate thoughts. Things that we never got around to finishing and we're feeling quite a bit of regret towards. Or even something wild like aspirations for the future. Have y'all ever planned out your next 7 years and 3 business ventures while in your jammies at 3 in the morning? Well, this is why. So the full circle here is that if you don't stimulate your brain and give it the ability to relax, then it's going to stimulate itself and not give you the ability to relax. Category number 3, how to get to sleep easier in the future. So obviously we talked about stimulating your brain and the influence that it has, and if you don't get any, then you don't get this. But stimulating your brain before bed sounds a little bit nuts, doesn't it? Well, I want your attention for just a little bit longer because I'm going to explain all of this. And then we can stop looking at my face so much. So, stimulating your brain is not what society deems stimulating, and I think that's incredibly important because society seems to think about this as chocolate cake and roller coasters. But stimulation is based on actually extreme basics, like having protein or fiber digesting in your stomach. Doesn't have to be much. 300-calorie snacks like bananas and nuts are more than enough. Having recent physical strain on your body. 10 to 20 minutes of stretching, cleaning, singing, or even just going for a little walk is more than enough to stimulate you. Or just creating simple, natural stimulation for your body and mind. These are things like finding a reason to smile, conversation, feeling a sense of accomplishment by doing things like hygiene routines, or even planning out your following day with dim lights and a nice quiet space. Please remember that stimulation is a balancing act, and we don't want to push ourselves into overstimulation by things like 1,000-calorie meals, excessive social media time, video games, etc. To keep it simple, put the screens down, don't get a tummy ache, get everyone else out of your mind, and do the things that are actually going to put you into the state of relaxation. Remember, the neurotypical brain is relatively equivalent to something like an automatic transmission for a car. When you want it to get into gear, it does it for you. The ADHD brain definitely acts a lot more as a manual transmission. You're gonna have to shift it into gear, so make sure to put your hand on the shifter. No matter how many times you've attempted this in the past, keep going. It's very worth it. You're worth it. It's gonna change your life, and I love you. Have a great night. Well, that's it for this video. If you feel like this video added to your journey through ADHD whatsoever, please give me the ultimate compliment and give me a like, comment, and subscribe for more. My goal and mission in all of this is to truly impact the world in a positive way with my unique style of educating, and it all starts with showing these social platforms that I am somebody worth listening to. Thank you so much for letting me teach you something new, and thank you even more for allowing me to be your ADHD guy. Now go drink water and get to bed. Now without further ado, welcome to ADHD. Well, whichever one. Go on. You like my watch? I think it's pretty. Of course ADHD is important for not just ADHD. Of course ADHD. Fuck. And sleep plays us by things like sight, smell, taste, sound, and structures. Structures? Fuck. And what we're thinking about, how we're thinking, yeah, fuck. Have y'all ever planned out your next 7 years, 3 business ventures? Have y'all ever planned out Have y'all ever planned out your next 7 years, 3 business plans? Have y'all ever planned out your next 7 years, 3... I'm trying it one more time. Have y'all ever tried... And then we can stop looking at my face for so long. But stimulation is based on... Whoa. I hope it like cuts off there. Like you should really...